I think I realize what's going on right now. The cell phone zombie apocalypse is upon us. Have you noticed how people are basically have become a slave to their cell phones? I used to think that the people that were holding the cell phone were zombies, but what I realize is that the cell phones that are holding the people's attention, those are the real zombies, and it's sucking on their energy. That's what I'm starting to realize is people nowadays are more focused on their cell phones than actually talking and connecting and meeting with people and having a conversation. So I think I had it wrong the whole time. These cell phones, as you can see in the thumbnail, they're like zombies, and they're out here and they feed on people's attention. And the people don't realize it. The people think that they're using the cell phones to help their lives. They're using their cell phones to connect with people. They're using this, so they say, they're using a cell phone to you find directions and to call people and to order Ubers and then eventually what happens is you start to ask yourself, are you using the cell phone or is the cell phone using you? Are you controlling the cell phone or is the cell phone controlling you? That's what the question comes down to for me is who's using who, right? Think about it. You pay for this. That's the crazy thing about this too. People pay for this. They pay for this cell phone. They pay a company to steal their attention and steal their time and to use them and to feed off of them. These cell phones are feeding off of people. That's what's happening right now in the world. And I don't think people quite understand that. So the great cell phone zombie apocalypse is upon us because the reality is cell phones are feeding on your attention. Cell phones are feeding on your energy. They're feeding on your emotions. They're feeding on your insecurities. It's feeding on your wanting to conform. It's crazy. It's crazy to see and think. And the other thing about it is cell phones are also turning people into the exact same kind of person. Because when you think about the cell phone, you think about social media, and you think about all these different things, the first thing you start seeing when people are on social media is, oh, I like that person's haircut. Oh, I like that person's clothes. Oh, I like where that person's visited for a vacation. And all of a sudden you start seeing people with the same haircuts, wearing the same clothes, wearing the same shades, taking the same kinds of photos. And then you start to realize that not only is the cell phone and the social media feeding on your attention, but it's also turning you into the same kind of a person. It's stealing your uniqueness, which I think is unbelievable, because people used to actually pride themselves on being themselves. Remember back in the day? So when I think about Gen X and I think about the millennials and Gen Y, and I think about what's happening now, the great cell phone zombie apocalypse, the people that are going to help stop this from continuing and going down this dark path of cell phone addiction, of smartphone addiction, of social media addiction, is all the people that actually lived before social media, before the internet, before cell phones, before smartphones. So that's like Gen X, that's like the millennials, the elder millennials, and people that actually knew what it was like to go out and hang out and do things. I saw the other day, I was walking down the road, and I saw a person, they're riding their bike, and they had their cell phone right in front of them. So they're riding their bike, they have the cell phone right in front of their face, and I see them drive right into a parked car, fly over the hood of the car, it was a parked car, drop their cell phone, fall in the car, fall on the ground, and the thing they're most worried about, are they worried about getting injured? Are they worried about the damage they caused on their car? No, they're worried about whether or not they broke their cell phone, whether or not they broke their smartphone. So it's just like, it's becoming a situation where people would rather break an arm than break their cell phone, would rather break their leg than break their cell phone. And I remember I was at a party once and this person dropped their cell phone in the toilet. And he was a guy and he was crying. And he was saying, my whole life's on my cell phone. I can't believe my cell phone's wrecked. My whole life's on my cell phone. And I'm like thinking to myself, no, your whole life isn't on your cell phone. Your whole life is right here, right now, at the party that you're at. But you can't stop crying over a phone that you broke in the middle of a huge party. And I'm thinking to myself, is this what we've come to? Is this the life we're now living in the great cell phone zombie apocalypse, where the true heroes of the day are going to be Gen X and the millennials trying to help show people how to get unaddicted from their cell phones? A lot of people don't understand that these devices, whether it be social media or whether it be the cell phones, these devices were designed by the smartest psychologists in the world who've got years and years and years and years of psychological training and know exactly how to harvest the attention of people. Their whole point is it's no different than drugs. When you put a cell phone in a kid's hands, that's the same thing as putting like drugs in their hands, because they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves but stare at the screen. They can't help themselves but look and keep on looking and keep on finding things to entertain them. And I watch, I get it. A lot of parents say, well, how I would look at this, back when Gen X days, so in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, even elder millennials, the difference was our parents never had this tool called a cell phone or a tablet to put in front of us. So what they would do is, so rather than putting the tablet in front of us, they would just say, go outside and come back for lunch, and after lunch, come back when the street lights are on, or come back for supper and then go out. That's how it was done. They never had cell phones to put into our hands. Now, that being said, we basically governed ourselves and did our own thing. And there's always good and bad. But at the end of the day, Gen X and elder millennials, and even probably some Gen Zers, maybe not Gen Zers, but even younger millennials, maybe some of the older Gen Zers, might have known the world, or may have been in a situation where maybe their parents never had a lot of money, so they didn't have a cell phone, or they didn't have a smartphone, or they didn't have the cable TV or whatever, and they were kind of forced into a situation where they actually had to go out and do things. So I do think that the ironic thing about the cell phone, and the ironic thing about it is, people think they're using the cell phone, but the reality is that the cell phone's using you. It's harvesting your attention. It's making you buy things. It's it's taking your money. It's turning you into the same kind of person. It's putting you into a world and making you think that conforming is the coolest thing in the world, when conforming is absolutely not. I used to remember how I still pride myself on just being a unique individual, on being myself, not being unique for the sake of it, but just understanding that I am personally a unique person, and I have something to offer the world that's based on my perspective, and I'm not out here trying to copy anybody. I'm doing my own thing. And I just think that people got to understand that these cell phones and this social media and these things, they're made for a purpose. They're made to harvest your money, harvest your attention, and make you conform and think the same way as everybody else. So when I think about and I talk about this subject, I'm very intrigued by it, because it's so pervasive. The cell phone or the smartphone and social media is so pervasive that they've had to make laws in countries, in America, in England, in Canada, in Australia, where you can't have your cell phone while you're driving. Like, who would have thought, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't be looking at my cell phone while I'm driving? You know what I mean? They had to make laws against it, because people couldn't stop themselves while they're driving from watching social media, or from watching something on their cell phone, or using their cell phone for this, or using their cell phone for that, and becoming distracted and putting people at risk because they can't wait to get to wherever they're going before they check their message, before they check WhatsApp, before they check Instagram, before they check their text messages. And it's just become it's become like a drain on society, to the point where people are now making laws about it, which I think is insane. And I just think that is pretty incredible to see how quickly these combinations, the cell phones and social media, have come in and started taking over everybody's free time. And people don't even know what it's like to be alone anymore. So rather, people back in the day, when you're Gen Xer and you're a millennial or even a boomer, you didn't have things to just take your attention all the time. So you had to make things up, or you had to just sit there and think or contemplate or be yourself. Or you would sit there and you would actually take time and you would see, oh man, look at that beautiful sunset. And you would actually pay attention to it Whereas people, as soon as they see a beautiful sunset, the first instinct is to record it or to take a picture of it versus just experiencing it. Or when something cool is happening, people can't just experience the cool thing anymore. They have to get a video of them experiencing the cool thing and post it so other people can see how cool this was for them versus just experiencing what's happening in the world. I find that this need to tell everybody how great your life is and how cool you are is becoming more important than experiencing life itself, where you're going to your kids' dance recitals and you're going to concerts and you're going to all these places and you're watching it through the screen of a phone because you're recording it so you can show somebody, hey, look at my son or my niece or my nephew, look at them singing this song and this, versus just experiencing the fact that your child is doing this thing and you're there with them and that's the next generation, and you know, just enjoying that moment versus having to record the moment, the so-called moment, because once the moment's done, it's gone. So you just sit there and instead of being in the present with somebody, you're sitting there showing them a past experience that doesn't really have the same impact on them as it did on you in the moment. So I just find that very funny that that's kind of where society has gone, that it's okay for people and it's okay for people to have their cell phones at the table while they're eating or while they're hanging out with their friend. And while you're having a conversation with somebody and somebody's checking the phone while you're in the middle of a story or while you're in the middle of a question or while you're whatever, anything that you could be doing, they just would rather be checking their cell phone to see what's going on there. Like, let's be real. If you don't want to be here, go hang out with that person that you're texting. So some of the things so yes, I do think that there's these cell phones are very pervasive and they are feeding on people, and I don't think people realize it. And I want to come with a couple solutions, which is I think very simple. Number one, pick a day where you just don't have your cell phone on you. Let everybody know, okay, it's Sunday. I don't carry my cell phone, my smartphone on me. Tell them if you're gonna do something, tell them what you're gonna do. Well, I'm gonna go to the park at 3:00 and just show up there. And then see whoever shows up and just ask them, if anybody wants to come see me, please do. All I ask is that you don't bring your cell phone, don't bring your smartphone. Just bring yourself and we'll figure out what to do then. Another thing that I find very helpful is, making a time so you can't check your cell phone as soon as you wake up in the morning. So when you wake up, let's say you wake up at 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning, you can't check your phone or you can't check your cell phone for an hour or 2 hours in the morning. You wake up, you do your morning routine, you walk, you have a coffee, whatever the case may be, but the first thing can't be just checking your cell phone. Like, find a way to delay turning it on, and then at night, pick a time and turn it off. So for me, that's like 9:30. I turn it off around 9:30, 10, and that's it. And then you turn it off and then you go to bed and you'll find that you're gonna start sleeping better. And really trying to set the expectation. Like when you go to a concert, next time, let me challenge you out here. Next time you go to a concert, tell your friends, whoever you're going with, okay, I'm printing the tickets off. All I ask is that don't bring a cell phone. Just go with your friend, bring your money, bring yourselves, bring the tickets printed out, go to the concert or go to the comedy show or go wherever you're going, and don't bring your cell phones, and just be in the moment with your friend and experience that. And then that's something you could talk about, and you could find, I want to get a picture with my friend because I want to get a picture of my friend at Pearl Jam or at Oasis or whatever. Nobody cares. Let's just be real. Nobody cares. All they care about is you went to Oasis and you tell the story of what happened while you were there. Oh, we didn't have any cell phones, so we did this and we did that. We ended up meeting some other people. Next, we had a big group, and we did a big group sing along to Don't Look Back in Anger, something like that, That's what you do, man. Put the cell phone away. Understand that you're not manipulating the cell phone is manipulating you. You're not manipulating social media, the social media is manipulating you. So please don't forget that. Okay, we are in the great zombie apocalypse, the great cell phone zombie apocalypse right now. And it's going to take us Gen Xers and us elder millennials and even boomers to remind people to be in the moment and get off the phone, turn off the cell phone, tell kids to get on their bikes, go out for a bike ride, hang out, have fun, and enjoy. Enjoy life, just like that. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I just think it's important for us to start understanding and really start taking a stand against and telling your friends and setting expectations with family members, with friends, and with anything that you're doing, that keeping the cell phones out of the equation or the smartphones out of the equation is going to be of the utmost importance, because it steals your attention, it steals the present, and it stops people from actually experiencing each other, experiencing the world. And here you are on your cell phone while you're missing, you know, one of the great, you know, I could imagine people being at like a soccer game or a football game, American football game or an English football game. And instead of, and they score, there's a big goal in overtime. And how many people have missed it because they're sitting there staring at their cell phone? Have you ever seen a big goal scored and somebody was too busy looking at their cell phone and missed it? You know, how many moments are people missing because they can't stop staring at the goddamn screen? Because they can't stop staring at the screen. That's the question I have. That's it. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. What do you think? Do you think that people are manipulating cell phones? Do you think people are manipulating social media? Or do you think that social media and cell phones are manipulating people and stealing their attention and stealing the present moment? And if you disagree with me, feel free, drop it in the comments. I'll talk to you later. I'm Matt Ross. I'm the Lone Wolf.